Welcome to the world united. Welcome to the world united.
Good morning, everyone. Very good morning to all who are present. A very beautiful day, and I'm really privileged and excited to be part of the VR1 summit that we have today. Before we begin, I want all of us to just for a few seconds just come back to this moment.
Very good morning
Very
to
good
all
morning to all.
who are present. A very beautiful day, and
Could we just be in this moment? If you can just close your eyes for a few seconds just to check in. Let's be grateful. Let's be thankful in our hearts that we are sharing this space together. Thank you. Thank you. My name is Vasant Hede, and I am your host for the inaugural function. So let's quickly begin. I would tell you briefly about the World United Movement, and today's summit is a part of that movement. I would request everyone to please mute yourself. The World United, or TWU, is not governed by one single individual or it doesn't have any organized philosophy, and it aims at unification of all the positive and spiritual forces of the planet through various world parliaments on spirituality, global transformation festivals, and summits like the VR1 summit that we are part of today. The only aim and objective of TWE is cultivating unity consciousness in mankind. For the year 2024, the fourth World Parliament on Spirituality is coming up across all the 6 continents. For more details, please visit www.theworldunited.org. Let me just give you the numbers to let you understand the impact that we all want to create. 6 continents, 200 nations, 7.5 billion people, and the aim is to create 1 lakh spiritual leaders across the globe. So really happy to share that with you so that you can sense the kind of impact we are going to create through each event like this. Briefly about the VR1 event, which we are part of today, which is also known as VOW. Just like us, some of us have been the speakers at the Global Transformation Festival, which happened a couple of months back. People across the world have come forward to take lead in manifesting this grand event online in their respective countries. We have VR1 events happening all across the globe today. And this is the way we are joining councils at respective nations. The event is going to be in the format of individual talks, discussions, workshops, etc. We are inviting spiritual speakers, transformational leaders, educators, healers, change agents across the world to speak on various themes related to pure and applied spirituality. Let us know which are the topics on which each one of us can be a speaker. This is an open platform, open for all. Whoever is connected to this can be a part of this. The speaker can talk on any subject which falls on one of the themes, and I'm going to tell you which are the themes. The speaker is entitled to have only one slot in the series of the Global Transformation Festival event across the world, and the speakers cannot be repeated. Let us quickly know the themes of the event: pure spirituality, spirituality and health, spirituality and education, spirituality and environment, spirituality and arts and culture, spirituality and business and management, spirituality and science and technology, spirituality and women empowerment, and last but not the least, spirituality and youth. So through this moment, we are trying to reach all aspects of human life. Without further ado, let's get on rolling with the event and let's welcome our guests for today. We have among us, and it's a privilege to have you, sir, our chief guest who's going to give us the inaugural address, Shri Brahmana Shankwaka ji amongst us. A big welcome to you, sir. Mr. Brahmana Shankwaka is an ace football player, Arjuna awardee, and Padma Shri, which he received in the year 2022. A big round of applause. Thank you, Dr. Mahendra, for doing that. Really a great moment for all of us, especially all of us here in Goa. We really feel proud to have you with us. A little bit about Mr. Brahmana Shankwaka. He is known as one of the finest goalkeepers ever to grace the Indian football team. He was born in Taligaon, and he fell in love with this lovely game of football in his very early age. He has got many laurels, as I said, Arjuna Award, and recently he has received Padma Shri, which is among the highest civilian awards for the country, and we are all proud of you. Brahmanan Bab, as we call him in Goa, is known to have described in his own way. For him, spirituality has come very naturally to him. He believes he's not a very religious person, though religion is very close to his heart. But at the same time, he has his own ways to access the higher self and connect it through his breath work, meditation, and other practices. So again, a big welcome to Mr. Brahmana Shankwaka. Next, among the guest of honors, I would love to welcome Sadhu Shivai David Griji. Is he in?
Yes, he's there. He's there.
I will go ahead with welcoming all. He is a spiritual guide, disciple of Agori, Bhairav Nath, and Sudhanshu Giri. And let's hear in his own words, what is spirituality according to him? He says, you are an Atma who is a part of Paramatma, who is now in the human form and occupies the human body. This is a play of Shiva's Maya. We all have done certain karmas, and based on those karmas, we are reborn, and that is how the whole creation is manifested. Thank you so much, sir. We welcome Sadhu Shivai David Giriji. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next guest of honor, one of our most dynamic people that we know, Dr. Varun Carvalho, a well-known reggae singer. Hello, Varun, welcome. He is a lyricist, a musician, a composer. He loves to call himself a warrior from Goa who believes in being human as the core quality that we all should have. Being human over nation, over religion. In his own words, when we asked him about spirituality, this is what he had to say. We are warriors, we are humans, we are one vibration. That is so beautiful, isn't it? Varun is a well-known dentist by profession. He has created value and made huge contributions through various initiatives like Rise Nation, and has been an active warrior during the pandemic lockdown. Varun, proud of you and so happy to have you amongst us. Next, I welcome a person whom we all know so dearly. He's going to give us the council address. Please put your hands together for Dr. Yugandhar GR. He is a member of the Global Council and the World United. Personally, for me, he is a person who has immersed himself, and he has been an example for all of us to know how spirituality can be put into action. And sir, I'm And all of us are truly touched with the act of selflessness and the act in which you can give so much by feeling it in your heart truly. This is what I think, and it's the most simple and the most beautiful thing that has come across every time I've met you. So he said strictly not to give a big introduction of him. So with that, I really, really welcome you to be a part of this for lighting this flame for all of us. Welcome, Dr. Yugandhar. Our special guest, our very own again, Dr. Mahendra Kutselker. I would love to welcome you, a senior orthopedic surgeon, a person with a big smile, always 100%, 24/7. A great cricket enthusiast, a person who has the essence of spirituality the moment you meet him. In my personal experiences, doctor, again, I'm grateful. My hand is fine today because of you, because of the surgery. But more than anything, you are more of a calm, composed person, a very happy person. And just meeting you is a testimony that, life can be lived with simplicity, smile. And that's how you connect. So really happy to have you. A big thank you to you, Dr. Mahendra Kutselker. Our next special guest is Professor Gajesh Usgaonkar, Associate Professor of Goa College of Engineering, a dynamic philanthropist, spiritual enthusiast over 3 decades. He's a karma yogi, and again, he doesn't like the limelight. He prefers his actions to speak louder than his words. Sir, it's an honor to have you amongst us. Welcome, Professor Gajesh Usgaonkar. Our next special guest is Mr. D.S. Prashant. Mr. Prashant, great to have you amongst us. He's a CEO at the Forum for Innovation, Incubation, Research and Entrepreneurship, which is known as FIRE at Don Bosco College of Engineering, Patarda. Prashant is a startup enabler with over 2 decades of experience in supporting over 100 technology startups and helping establish about 2,000 micro enterprises in Goa. I personally know Prashant over the last few years and great achievements over the years. So welcome, DS Prashant. Our next special guest is Dr. Venkatesh Hegde, a person again with a divine smile, a medical doctor and a senior teacher of art of living. He's very welcoming. I have met him once, he may not recollect, but very welcoming and warm at heart. His voice, in fact, gives you that calmness every time you speak to him. He has helped many people to get into spirituality and know their true essence and transform their lives. Our very own, the World United Goa Secretary, Mr. Floyd De Silva, started his spiritual journey, and he has a big thank you to give to Dr. Hegde. Dr. Hegde, welcome on this panel. Thank you so much to be a part of us today. Our next special guest, last but not the least, Mr. Naresh Mcgowan, a renowned classical musician of Goa, a disciple of Pandit Satish Vyas ji. He has performed for India's Prime Minister and even at the European Parliament. So it is such an honor as a Goan to feel that when we know that about you. He's also a co-creator of sound healing modality called soundscape synthesis. And on multiple occasions that we have met Mr. Naresh Mcgowan, it's always an honor, and divinity is felt in your music. Welcome, welcome to us. So on that note, I think let's get started. Can we have a big thumbs up from all of us? Yes. Okay. So let's quickly hear from our own Dr. Yugandhar ji. I welcome and let him give us the council address to all of us. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Good morning, all the chief guests, guests of honor, special guests, the moderators, all the speakers, and all the viewers who are watching this event titled as We Are One Summit. How can we be one with so much of individualizations, so much of customized aggrandizements, so much of uniqueness, so many types of likes and dislikes, propensities and inclinations of mind, put together a high-level programmed configuration on individual basis with so much of diversity. For the size of 7.8 billion population, there are 7.8 billion types of minds. With so much of diversity, how can we be one? All this so-called oneness begins with one's self. What is oneness? Oneness means unifying all the disseminated, divided, fractured, fragmented parts of consciousness at individual level, so that different types of consciousness, depending upon the activity like wakeful, sleep, dream, whatever, they all superimpose in the mode of quantum mechanics. They get superimposed and become one, called as meditative consciousness, a subtle consciousness, higher consciousness. Deep down at the root level, the same type of consciousness exists in each and every individual. All the species called as Homo sapiens. We are called sapiens because we express everything through language, different types of languages. The sentient beings are those which are other than the humans, which do express through other ways, by emotion and by telepathy. All the animals do contact each other by telepathy, by emotions. They know how to communicate most powerfully than humans. We are called sapiens because we communicate through language. We don't know other ways of communication. If there is no language, it is almost like close communication. So we are one at a conscious level, because consciousness, the properties of consciousness is uniform, and that which connects, that which we are made up of, that we are always, even without physical bodies, that which is permanent, eternal. So at this permanent and eternal level, each human being is same. Every animal has got something called a species consciousness. The whole ants of the whole world, they feel as one. They know. If an ant is killed somewhere in some part of the world, the other group of ants also know that someone is killed. But we, as human beings, we do not know. We know only through media, through TV, through news, through internet. But an ant can know, and a small invertebrate creature which can be crushed in no time, they know the death of ants in some part of Hawaii, some part of Micronesia or Macronesian islands. The only creature in the whole world which does not have this species consciousness is humans. The custodians of nature. Instead of being a custodian of nature, he has become reverse. He has become a destructor of nature. Because the nature of consciousness has been masked by so many types of personalities. And the time has come for each one of us to remove all these masks, to keep away these individuations and start feeling as human species. That's what we are aiming at. And union within leads to unity without. Unless we are united in oneself deep down, we can't think of unity consciousness outside. And everywhere if you observe any protest or agitation or any whatever movement, people call for united consciousness, right? Because you need people, a lot of people. They have some same voice, singularized voice. And once the protests or agitations are closed, everything will be disseminated. The energy gets disseminated. But here, it is not the agitation or the protest which is trying to unite us. It is the need of the hour to awaken oneself and get into the common consciousness domain of unity. There is need of the hour. Just because we are fractured at collective consciousness, all the problems in the world are existing, be it problems and issues of education, be it in health, be it in environment, all these things, just because of this divided consciousness, divisive consciousness. When we all become united and move as a single voice with clear aim and objective, there is only one aim objective here, unconditional unity consciousness. That's the only aim for the world united. And if you can invite so many people who are thinking, feeling the same way, that becomes the awakening of critical mass, which the elders have been aiming at, visualizing at, dreaming at. The world united is the action part of the dream. We are conducting events not because we have a lot of time here, wasting our precious time here just for chit-chatting. No. We are actually creating a movement in the name of event. The event is the visible part, the shoot part of the activity. The root part of the activity is the movement that's happening worldwide. We have conducted something called as the World Parliaments on Spirituality, 3 in number, 2012, the first one, the city of Hyderabad, 2016, in the city of Utah, USA. The third one happened virtually in 2020, very massive way with 1,200 speakers in all 6 continents. And at the end of the World Parliament, we decided not to give a gap for 4 years. We are moving further into national-wise, now state and province-wise, next into district, taluk, and village-wise. Everywhere yesterday, we had 4 events. Till 3 o'clock, events are going on continuously on a daily basis. Events are going on in the states of Mendoza, Entre Rios, many regions of Italy. It all happened yesterday till 3 a.m. And now again, the Goan chapter for India began today. I congratulate Floyd De Silva, Vasant, and all the speakers, moderators. Everybody is giving their precious time. And please remember, we are here not to just deliver our speeches. We can do it elsewhere as well, right? But we are coming on one platform as one voice. And I also invite each one of you to join this force. The world is not gone by any individual. It is not gone by any organized philosophy. It is not a static activity. It is continuously evolving and dynamic. Each one adding energy to it. Each one adding value to it. Each one inspiring the moment. And it is moving forward like a blob. The more and more we move on, it is becoming more and more energetic. The World United has already got presence in 170 countries now. Slowly, the nation-wise global transformation festivals are happening. Last year, we had a lot of national events, almost 52 in number, in all 6 continents. Now, the state and provincial chapters have begun in those countries where GTF, the Global Transformation Festivals, are over. And it will continue and converge into the 4th World Parliament on Spirituality in 2024, which is going to be an offline event in all 6 continents. All the dates are also ready for all 6 continents. So everywhere, people started picking the idea and moving forward on their own. It's not me who is doing everything. No. How is it possible? It is not a person-centric model. It is a vision-centric model, an energy-centric model, a system-centric model. It is a vision which should align all people. Otherwise, it becomes a nuclear, personal as a nucleus. I'm the nucleus here. The vision is the nucleus here, which is attracting everything, encompassing everything. So this is the central idea, activity, and the nature of this movement. And I request each one of you to join as a council member. I will share a link on the chat box. If anyone has any call in within, there is no force. Unity movement, unity consciousness movement cannot be enforced. It is not possible. Everyone has to take inner call and join. We don't go by rules and laws here. We go by only principles. While the procedural diversity is always respected, we always stick to the principles. And the only principle, procedure, aim, objective, purpose is one, that is building unconditional unity consciousness everywhere. And we are going in a very systematic, strategic way. And so much of energy is building on an hourly basis across the world. Thank you very much, all the moderators. I wish you all the best, all the speakers, and all the speakers of the inauguration, the chief guests, guests of honor, and special guests. I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yugandhar. Thank you so much for bringing the whole essence, the zest, which you can smell and you can taste and feel it in your heart. So thank you so much for giving us the essence. Next, let's put our hands together and welcome our chief guest for today, Mr. Brahmana Shankwaka. I request you, sir, to do the honors and give us your inaugural address. Thank you.
First of all, I welcome all the dignitaries, guests, and all those who are, each and every individual who is online for today's program via 1/2022. I'm grateful for the moderators, Mr. Ashish Hede and Mr. Floyd, for inviting me on this inauguration day of your state level program. Actually, I would like to say few of my small things which have gone through my life. In short, I understand everyone is here for a purpose. I am a dropout student of inter-science that had a great dream to become a doctor, but football was rolling. I was running after football. I was so passionate about football that I had to do this, but finally I've decided dedication, sacrifices to put behind this interest of football, and went ahead, and football has taken me around the world and met a lot of individuals, and every individual which I've met for over 52 years, I was one in them. I was one into them. And I enjoyed it, the spirit behind it. All the learnings which I've missed in my life got through by experiences, watching experiences, taking examples of the great cricketers, footballers, and other sports persons, the sacrifices they have done, the injuries they have gone through, the comeback they have done through. It's all learning process for me, and which made me to come back even when I went through the crisis of injury, setbacks, performances, but I never said no. Everything is possible in this world, and I made a comeback. I'm not so much, whatever I have achieved in my life, it is just I say, let's keep it in the cupboard, in my shelf, and I go ahead with all my activities because there is love for football in my heart. I always felt a small man before everybody, made somebody who is really deserving, never made him feel small. I always lifted him, his spirits up high. I know at the state level, the purpose of the spirit behind it, purpose and the spirit behind it of this event, unity in consciousness, is that I feel very much that I endorse it fully, this movement. And this movement, I am hoping very strongly, going to the earlier speech of the special guest, should reach each and every corner of the world. Like a frog in the well does not know anything outside the world. There was a very elderly lady, very elderly lady told me, Brahmana, you came out of the well now. You slightly saw something beyond your border and you will see the world. Her words have come true. And for me, coming from the ward, going out into my village to other villages of Goa, beyond the borders of Goa, the whole country and the world, I feel this will be possible. I wish all the best. As I said earlier, I am behind this program. I fully endorse this program. I wish you all the best, especially Floyd, Ashish, and all those who are involved. All the top dignitaries who are here, whom I know very well, and who have supported me. I'm giving a small example, as the earlier speaker has said. In my crisis, I was finding sometimes many people. One of them was Dr. Mahendra Kutselker's father. He was a footballer with Salgonkars. And when I was in my plaster of my arm during the Asian Games, I don't know whether I want to come back or not. Every time I could meet him in the office of the Aero Mundial, where he was a chief head of the agency. The moment he looks at me, he would smile at me. There was different spirit in me. Then we would sit, talk about football, this and that and that. Everything was positive. And I always appreciate all those people who met me in my life. That push has given me to go forward. I wish you all best. Everyone will go forward on this. And this is a very good movement. I hope, and it's going to be, you've got to be positive to see that it's going to be successful throughout. It's very difficult. But yes, we have got to make our conscience clear that we are going to be one. And World United, wish you all the best for this success. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. So on that note, I invite any of our special guests, guest of honors, whoever feels connected, whoever wants to share something, please unmute yourself and share. We'll be blessed to hear anything from any one of you or more than one. Please go ahead.
Yes, I'll take the opportunity. I need to
Please go
talk.
ahead, sir.
I'm Dr. Venkatesh. Yeah, wonderful. Everything is wonderful. Smiling, very beautiful smile when you see that is what is spirituality. Spirituality is, if you really want to look very spiritual, you can see a child. A child has got no tension. A child has got no botheration. The child is smiling. The child is playing. The child is falling. The child is enthusiastic. The child, cries and child laughs. But the child doesn't have any stress. Nothing in the mind. It enthusiasm of a child, the compassion of a child. This is all spirituality. We all were spiritual when we were born. We all were spiritual as a child. That's why it is said a child smiles 400 times a day. As the child grows to the age of say 17 years, the child only smiles, that boy or girl of 17, 18 years smiles only about 13, 14 times a day. And as we grow old and old, we forget that very beautiful ornament called a smile. It's very important that this smile should not be artificial. It needs to blossom from your heart. And this can blossom from your heart when your mind, that mind is full of, it's empty. We have got a body and we have got a spirit. The spirit is love, peace, joy, enthusiasm, compassion, creativity. This is this is what is our spirit. And whenever we go away from the spirit, that is because of the stress. Today, stress is, many times we are crying, many times we are upset, whenever we are too very, very wrong emotions in us, the anger and lust, this take us away from our spirit. Whenever we are in lust, then our mind is disturbed. Whenever we are in anger, then that mind got disturbed. Our actions are not proper. We cannot come out with proper actions. And that is what we need to control. That is what we need to be aware. That's why I just say today, wake up. Where are we landing? We don't have to go anywhere to look out for spirit. Spirit is there in us, but that spirit, when gets contaminated with anger, with jealousy, with lust, with greed, with obsession, then what happens is we go away from our own self. That's why we need to be in par with ourselves. We need to come to our childhood. The childhood was, and to get to this certain things which we have forgotten when we were as a child, today we have forgotten our childhood. For that, to go to that spirit again, to that spirituality again, to go to that state of mind again where love, joy, enthusiasm, compassion, everything blossoms, we need something called as sadhana. Sadhana is a sadhana is, huh? Yes, sadhana is practice. We need to develop certain practices. We need to adopt certain practices with which we can purify ourselves. It is just purification. Many times this sadhana, like in Art of Living, Shishya Ravi Shankarji has come out with a very beautiful sadhana called as Sudarshan Kriya. A change in the state of mind, very supreme state of mind we can get if we are stressed, if we are bothered, if we are confused, if we are unhappy. What happens is whenever we practice this Sudarshan Kriya, immediately the state of mind changes. The mind gets empty. The mind is spiritual. But there are many practices. Practice some other sadhana. And a very beautiful sadhana we see where people come to their spirituality. If you go to Pandharpur on Ashadi Ekadashi, there we see people, merging with something like Vittala. That is Namasmaran. You just merge in that, that is something called as bhakti, devotion. A very supreme person is someone who is a devotee. Devotion blossoms, and when devotion blossoms, you forget yourself. You merge in that certainly, maybe Vittala, maybe Shankara, maybe Damodara, maybe Mangesha, whatever you have got devotion to something, whenever you are devoted to something, you just merge into that to such an extent that you forget yourself. You totally forget yourself. That state of mind comes where you merge totally in that power, uh, in that God, to such an extent that you, the result is you blossom in spiritual. So it's very important that if we want to take care of whatever problems are there in life today, we see so many problems, we see so many murders, we see so many uh, people with lust, greed, jealousy, so much of misery in life that we need to take care, and programs like this need to be very frequent so that people are made aware about their own nature. People are made aware about spirituality. When people blossom in spirituality, then their actions will be three. They will do seva, they will have love, peace, joy, enthusiasm, and very important, peace in life. If at all you want to ask God, our Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankarji says, you need to ask for peace of mind. So let us today, very with everyone with a very blissful heart, let us pray for peace of mind. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Very beautiful.
Thank you, sir. It was very meditative, and thanks for those beautiful words. Thank you very much. So on that note, I accept all the blessings and good wishes from all the speakers. Varun, you would like to say something? Please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. And it's good to see everyone here. And uh, that that all of us have made time uh, to come together on one platform itself shows the oneness. Yeah, that everybody is on this higher frequency. And as you all have been saying before, Yugandhar has been saying is once we reach that critical mass, then the change will happen. Yeah, and I'll just give you a small example of this oneness, because when we were in school, actually, uh, Ramnand was like a massive hero for us. Yeah, and we would follow his every move, his every save, and heroes. And I think Brahmanand was one with football, and we were one with him. And that, for me, actually exemplifies oneness. Yeah, when you lose yourself in what you love. And I've seen Dr. Mahendra Kutselker. I've not seen him in the surgery, but I've seen him playing cricket, and I can say the same thing about him. he just loses himself in that moment. Yeah, and that for me actually is oneness. Uh, and I think the world is reaching this point where transformation is needed, and all of us actually become these transformers. And for our part, like I'm mostly into music, and for me, music is the way, is a channel to transform lives. Yes, because music has this higher vibration which can remodel each one's vibration. Yeah, and which can give you that balance, and 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 that and that oneness. As Dr. Yugandhar said, the oneness starts within yourself. Yeah, so we need to first balance each cell in our body, and that happens. Like for me, as for myself, I would say the music balances me. Yeah, the music balances my vibration. And as we've been seeing, we have a foundation called Rise Nation Army, and we go to these schools and colleges, and this music unites us with every kid. Like in every school, there are 2-3 thousand kids every morning that we all of us are on this one vibration. And for me, that is oneness. Yeah, if all of us can come into this higher elevation and and take the like our slogan is rise as one. So that's what we tell each kid, that all of us are one and all of us are going to rise as one. And I think this is the motto of this summit, and I hope each of us can be transformers, and I hope of each of us can take the message to everyone that we meet. Thank you, all of you all, for making the time, and I
Thank you,
value
Varun.
one of you all. I value each one of you all.
Thank you, Varun. We would love to
Thank you, Varun.
collaborate with Rise as One. Thank you, Varun. Varun has been very busy with the carnival and stuff like that. So I'm grateful that he's joined early morning. Maybe he's not even slept for an hour. But thank you so much, Varun. And Vasant, we'll move on with our
Yes.
panel one of discussions with many of our spiritual speakers. So please conclude the discussion here.
Yes. So, Floyd, you want me to take over, right?
You could please conclude with the.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So, I mean, thank you, Varun. Thank you, Brahmananji. Thank you, Venkatesh Ji, and everyone. I mean, we are already feeling that vibration. We are already feeling that oneness in the sweet voices and messages. Brahmanan, you are one with football, and we were one with you. My God, that was so nicely put and just connected so deeply. So we accept all the blessings, all the good wishes with all bright, big smiles. And let's start this conscious movement in Goa. We are all here together. First ever, we are one summit. Shall we say, let's begin? Shall we say that? Okay, I really feel it lovely. We can all unmute and even say that. Really special. And
Let's begin.
lots of love to everyone. I request Ankita, who's a moderator for the first session, to take over. It's been an honor to be part of this as your inauguration host. This is Vasant signing off. Thank you. Om Shanti Shanti.